Welcome to the Audacious Confidence Show here on Germaniac TV. I am your host, Alicia Couri, the Red Carpet CEO, and I'm here to influence, educate, inspire, and entertain you so you can step into your own audacious confidence and do more, be more, have more, and live the life of your dreams without limits. So thank you so much for joining us. We are live streaming here. We are multicasting on, let me see if I can count all the networks we're on tonight, all the social media networks. We're on Facebook. We are on Periscope. We are also on Twitch. We are on YouTube. So all of you out there, hi. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us on all those different channels. We so look forward to sharing with you tonight. And of course, we're going to see those on LinkedIn and Twitter and IGTV when we post this later on, this video later on. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all our viewers, whether you are live or you're watching us on replay. We welcome you and thank you for joining us. So tonight, I'm so excited because I have had the pleasure, the absolute pleasure of interviewing this amazing woman, probably a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, when I did this show on the radio. I had this show on the radio and she was my final guest for my radio show. And we laughed so hard during that interview. It was so much fun. And I'm expecting to have more fun again tonight because both of us have more stories to tell. So I want to introduce you to someone who I admire very much because she looks at fear. She conquers fear. She looks fear in the face and she goes after what it is that she wants anyway. You know, that expression, feel the fear and do it anyway, that is this woman. And not only does she conquer fear, but she is also so dynamic and so vibrant and so full of life. It's always a good time when she's around. And so I want to just tell you a little bit of her background. Her name is Madeline Faiella. I keep wanting to say Faiella. I keep wanting to say a Y instead of L. Faiella, Madeline Faiella. And so Madeline used to be, for 25 years, she had a background as a professional singer. And she was a powerhouse. And she sang for our troops. She sang all over Europe, Japan, the Netherlands. She performed for our military. And, you know, she really had a lot of poise, a lot of humor. And when her singing career was over, she transitioned. So she reinvented herself and transitioned herself into an international public speaker, a comprehensive coach. She also is a reinvention expert, helping women to reinvent themselves, to step into who they were meant to be and not give up on life, not say, well, you know what, I've retired now, it's over. No. She's the woman that you want to coach with because she's walked through it. She's done the work. She's paid her dues. She's also invested in herself to take herself to the next level. So her career just keeps going up and up and up. And so she is a wonderful coach to help you if you are ready to take your career to the next level or go to another step or just change careers or do something different. So this is why I wanted to have her on this particular show, the Audacious Confidence Show, because a lot of times when we're entering something new or something is finishing, which was so great to have her at the end of my show because, you know, I got to reinvent this show and do something completely different with it. And so I'm glad to have her back for this show. But she really is, she epitomizes what audacious confidence is. You know, feel the fear and do it anyway. Do it with boldness, do it with grace, do it with courage. And so I want to bring my guest, Madeline Faiella, here with us tonight because I'm just so excited. So Madeline, welcome.
Welcome, my love. It is so good to see you again.
Hey. You know what I forgot to mention? You're also an author.
Yeah, thank you very much. International.
International.
Say it, right?
Yes.
I want every woman out there and every person to own who they are. Own the good stuff. And, we have some stuff that's not so great, but
We gotta own that too.
We learn, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's live. You never know what could happen.
So we're live right now. And I have to tell you that her audio and her video aren't syncing. So if you hear her before you see her speak, hopefully it's coming together on Facebook. But hey, it's technology, it's live. Sometimes things happen. We're just going with the flow. And so don't think that we don't know. So if you're commenting that we already know, we don't have a fix for it. At least not yet. Maybe it'll fix itself on the way. But tell us, one of the things from our last interview you talked about was shiny object syndrome. Yes, that I know I used to have shiny object syndrome, but the thing that helped me most was clarity. So sometimes as entrepreneurs, we want to do everything. We want to jump in here, we want to jump in here, something new and everything. And that can create problems and can create fear and can create kind of where we become stuck. But you said clarity. So I want you to talk a little bit more about finding your own clarity and how that helped you when you were making your transition.
What I love, you just said finding your own clarity. One of the main things is you're not going to find your clarity out here. You're not going to find it in me. You're not going to find it in Alicia. You're not going to find it in Susie down the street. It is in here. So how we find our clarity mainly is by being in silence and asking ourselves some really hard and deep questions. Okay, and I will get to the shiny object syndrome. But I believe, and this is really my teaching and my work, is that our foundation has to do with everything that we do. It has to do with how we feel, how we look, how we age, how we work, and how much money we make in the end. Okay, so let's start with shiny object syndrome. Yes, and I have a solution. I had a coach who did this for me, and I have to tell you that I've repeated this so many times. Take 20 things that you want to do. I don't care what they are. They could be, bake a cake, build a hospital, read the Bible, write my own book, do whatever. But I want you to write it. Something about writing has something to do with the neuroplasticity of our minds, our brains. And let me tell you, fire, it's wonderful, it's exciting. So when you write down those 20 things, now I want you to take 5 out of that. Not easy. It's not easy, but you can.
No, it's not.
Well, it's simple. And the simplest is not easy. Out of those 5, I want you to take 3 top things and work on those in your first quarter of the year. Now, you can do this on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or a monthly basis, because clarity is one of the biggest steps to your business, your happiness, your health, and your wealth.
I want to say hi to Michelle Vismaya. She just said hi.
Well,
Maya, how are you?
I love.
Yeah, so it's almost like a pageant. You go from 100 women to 20 to 10 to 5 to 3.
And then you crown the one you want to work on, right?
And you crown the one you want to work on.
But it works. It works. I mean, and when I get stuck in that shiny object syndrome, and stuck, you mentioned, is the perfect word, because what happens is then we start feeling anxious, because then we have monkey brain. We're chaotic.
Yeah.
And we don't know what to do. And anxiety is just fear. And fear is not a fact.
That's right. False evidence appearing real.
Exactly. And there's only 2 things that our brain does. 1, it gives us what we want, and 2, it keeps us safe. So there were saber-tooth tigers. Today there's buses, right?
Right.
So the brain will keep you away from running in front of the buses, and it's going to make sure that you don't do that because it wants to keep you safe. So, for example, if you're thinking about 20 different things and you continue to say, I just don't know what to do next, your brain goes, okay, I'm going to make sure that you don't know what to do next.
Because the confused mind does nothing, right?
Exactly. And because that brain wants to keep you happy. So I suggest write down those 20, go all the way down to 5, and have those 3 main items. And you can do this with anything. Eventually it becomes something that you do automatically.
Right. Excellent. So Vishmaya says, your favorite gratitude gangster in the house. Great to be with you. Yay, Vishmaya. Thank you. Yes, gratitude is number one thing we should always have on our list. And then Sebastian, hey Sebastian, he says hello from the world's sexiest monkey brain.
Hey, how are you? I love that. That is so cute.
So I hope you guys are taking notes. So because she's pouring it out already, and the show is just started. So take your 20 things. If you have shiny object syndrome disease, if you can't figure out what it is you want to do, and I think this also happens a lot when you're transitioning into something and you're not quite sure what it is you want to do.
Yes.
There are things that you are interested in, there are things you're passionate about, but you're not quite sure where you should focus. So take her advice, write them down, then pick what it is. Pick 5, and then from that 5, pick 3, and out of that 3, start working on 1 at a time.
One at a time, and it works.
You start gaining clarity. Because I'll tell you something, you start working on something and then you realize this really isn't what I want to work on. You can dump it really quickly instead of fighting with 20 different things not getting anything done.
That's a great point, because that is absolutely true. If you're working on it, you're going, guess what? This doesn't align with me, but I didn't know that. Well, now you know, and you can move on. You can tweak. Do not believe that, we're in a new day and age. And if you choose and you feel that you've got something more that you want to do, and maybe you were dreaming too small, by all means, open up that dream, add what you want to it. And if that means that what you chose wasn't big enough, go to the next level.
Go to the next level. I love it.
Go to the next level.
So that is how you can gain clarity. So I am Alicia Couri. I'm here with my guest, Madeline Faiella, and we are talking about the confidence to reinvent yourself, confidence to really move forward in your life. And our last segment, we were talking about clarity. How do you gain clarity when you may have a lot of things going on and you're not quite sure? So welcome to the broadcast. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, on Twitch, and for those of you who will watch us later on IGTV and on LinkedIn, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Alicia Couri, the Red Carpet CEO, and we're going to move on to the next segment, and we're going to talk now that you've gained some clarity, because these are the kind of pillars and tenets of what Madeleine coaches on and teaches on. It's clarity, courage, and commitment. So we're going to move on to courage, and we're going to talk a little bit about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Right, Madeleine?
Absolutely. Feeling the fear and doing it anyway is something that you can do when you have a ridiculous, relentless desire to get something done. That is one of the components that's important. So may I share a story?
Absolutely, you can share a story.
Okay, so I'm afraid
it's funny because
I'm afraid it's usually when it has something to do with me, we're going to laugh anyway. So I had been offered and asked, would I please, this is when I was singing, would I please help this group of musicians that I knew because they were auditioning for something off Broadway. And of course I said yes. I was free and I thought, sure, I'll help them. Well, no one told Miss Diva over here that it was going to first be a helicopter with no doors picking me up. I'm afraid of heights. And then we flew over the top of the World Trade Tower and we came down on the helicopter patch. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to be a splat with a microphone in my hand.
Right? Because you're afraid of heights. I don't know if everybody got that because
I'm afraid of heights, right?
Afraid of heights, and
no
you end up
as big. Here's the solution. Now, not to be misunderstood, I am not a doctor. If you have a phobia, you need to go get medical help and take it from there, because I am not a doctor, but this is what works for me, and it's worked for some of my clients. So I looked out and I thought, you know what? Why would I be the only one that fear that the wind wants? Because I thought the wind's going to blow me off the top of the building. And so I said, you know, why would I be the only one that the wind wants? Right?
The wind just choose me to blow off the side of the building. All the other people are here.
They were all standing there, musicians tuning everything up. And so yours truly went out there and sang in my heels, in the wind, afraid of heights, because my desire, number one, I committed. When you have courage, it has to do with many other things. Your integrity, your desire to commitment, your presence. And these are all the things that underlie our qualities, our characters.
Right.
And I won't go into that because there's differentiations with different people. So the courage was, you know what? They're depending on you. The wind doesn't want just you. Evidently, they're all up there. And we had a great time. I tried it again when I learned how to ski. I started on the bunny slope and 3-year-olds were going by me and I was standing there. And I did the same thing. And the next year I was in amateur races.
Wow.
So
that is awesome.
Yeah, mindset. And not everything is going to be that extreme.
No, it's not.
Right? And we get
but even, you know, even standing in front of an audience, there's some people who are afraid to just stand in front of an audience. I see Sebastian is saying we're looking so yummy on YouTube. He's taking notes like crazy.
I love it. Thank you, sweetheart.
But yeah, some people are just afraid of standing in front of an audience of 5 people.
Exactly.
And it could be 5 people that they know. It's not even 5 strangers. It could be 5. But the minute you're put in front of to give a speech, they become fearful.
Exactly. And
that's a mindset.
It is a mindset. And you know, when the very first time that I sang, my parents were there and I was singing like this. And my father said, you have to sing to the audience. So, you know, I started out afraid on stage and now you could put 1 million people in front of me. It's not a problem. And I say that in the humblest way, because what I'm saying is that you can absolutely change your mindset. And your mindset has everything to do with anything that you do.
Looking great up
right?
You know, that is one of the most important things I think people need to understand is that courage and confidence are not things we're born with.
Right.
They are things that we develop. Confidence, you develop. It's a learned skill. It's something you have to practice. It does not, you don't come out of the womb courageous.
Exactly. And also look at a child, right? A child, because it's all fear-based. A child doesn't care. It's like, oh, I'm sitting in my poopy diaper and everyone loves me. And they just have a great time and it's smiling and yada, yada. They get up, they're going to take a step, they fall. What do they do?
They don't know danger, though. That's the thing. They don't know danger. So they'll walk off the edge of a cliff.
Exactly.
They have no concept of it.
They don't have a concept. And what happens is our concepts get filled in by otherwise loving parents, friends, teachers, guidance counselors, and everyone else.
Like danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson.
Yes, exactly. Danger, Will Rob. I haven't heard that in a long time.
That's how old I am.
Right. Well, hey, listen, we won't even go there. So I like the idea that think like a child. You know, a child will be persistent. They have the courage. Or I got up, but I fell. So this is akin to the ebook that I'm putting out, Failing Up, how to fail up to success. This is what children do. This is what we need to do. One of the reasons is they're not worrying about what you think. They don't care what you say.
Right.
They are not self-conscious. That's why they can sit in a diaper and smile anyway, and they just know they're more than enough. They don't care about what Susie Q has to say about them. They're not living their life off of the SEO agenda, social media. They are confident in an innocent, emotionally steadfast way that is their desire. They know what they want. Look at a baby. First time they want something and they can point, they know how to get it.
Right.
But if you want something and you're an adult and you're afraid to ask because what will they think? What will they say? I know that. We all do it. There's no judgment.
So what you're saying is like we learn guilt, shame, and we learn fear. We learn all these negative emotions because of society that teaches it to us as we grow up. But in order to overcome a lot of things, we have to go back to our childhood and see who we were as children and really embrace that innocence.
Get to that foundation. You know, for example, I am not a therapist, and this is not therapy because in therapy, they want you to live in the past. We just want to know. I just want to know what
it's different.
Yeah, what triggers that? So we can rewrite the stories. And I spoke to someone yesterday, and within 40 minutes, we went from, I don't know, to tears, to smiles, and 40 minutes, big change. So courage, you know, Aristotle said that I'm not repeating this exactly right, but Aristotle said something to this: without courage, you can't open any other doors.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be courageous if I'm worried about what you think.
Yeah.
It's none of my business.
You can't. You will always be in a box, afraid of what other people think if you're worried about what other people think.
Exactly. And what Vismaya said is, if you're in gratitude about everything, you're not afraid because the mind can't do both of those things.
Right.
At the same time.
So let me just recap really quickly because you gave us some nuggets in the conversation there. We talked about really, when I said feeling the fear and doing it anyway, in the sense that you have to look at what your values are, what your commitments are, really understand if you were committed to something, if you said yes to something and you're feeling afraid, you have to honor that commitment. Look at your desire. I know Napoleon Hill says desire is the starting point of all achievement.
Yes.
Because desire will pull you that line.
As opposed to being pushed.
It will, I don't like to say push.
No, pull. I like that. So I mean, as opposed to being pushed.
As opposed to being pushed. Yeah, it will pull you across that finish line. Absolutely. Your desire keeps pulling you forward. And so really recognize what your desire is. So when we go back to the first segment and we were talking about clarity, when you connect your clarity to your desire and you connect that to your commitment, what are you really committed to doing? We'll be talking a little bit about that in the next segment. It will help you achieve what it is that you're looking to achieve. I know you took the headphones off, but we're getting a little bit of echo still. So I don't know why I'm here, but anyway. So Madeleine, now that we've kind of gone through those steps of, you know, courage.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to share about courage? This is my show, but it's not about me. It's about you. Actually, it's about them.
It's about them. It's not about us.
I know the last time we had the show, you burst my bubble and you said it's not about me.
Right.
So we're sitting here. It's not about me. It's about the audience. It's really about you and helping to give you the tools that you need to take yourself to the next level. So any other stories you have where you can illustrate? You gave us 2 great stories about maybe a client of yours talking a little bit about courage, something that they had to overcome.
So I had a client who was already financially very wealthy. And it was a man, and he had a hard issue with some abuse as a child.
Mm.
The courage that he had to follow the coaching and the guidance and the mentoring and go through everything was so heartwarming. And 2.5 years later, because of his courage and because of the work that we did, it sustained. He sustained it. So he remained clear, he remained encouraged, and he remained committed. The reason I bring this one up is because I want to walk a little bit into, because many of us are entrepreneurs, and I want to walk a little bit into that, but Madeleine, how do I make money? Well, if your foundation is strong, and if this man can do what he did, or like another client I had, family was a mess. She had 3 little jobs that were driving her crazy, 3 businesses, I apologize. And she wanted to lose weight. So after we worked together, when we worked on her clarity, what do you really want? Why do you want it? Let's see where we can tap into courage, which means let's figure out what you're afraid of, really. Okay.
And then, you have to get to the root.
And then let's not have you committed, but let's have commitment. And so she lost 100 pounds. She made $250,000 with her 3 businesses, and her family went on this nice cruise. And this was after working with me for maybe 6 weeks.
Wow.
You can change your mindset. I was almost fatally, I was in a 2-year near fatal depression.
Wow.
Which is another story for another time.
Yeah.
Because when I stopped singing, I latched onto that identity.
Mm.
And so that's something that I will talk to people about at another time because it's crucial. So when you have courage to be who you are, you detach from all these other things. And what happens when you're a pure, clean inside, just joyful being? People want to be with you. Don't you think somebody's going to want to work with you?
Yes, absolutely.
So when they say attraction, it's not sitting on a mountain going, oh, although if you have the time and inclination to do that for 6 months or a year, by all means, add it. However, as you would say, get deep down into you in silence, forget everybody around you, get clear on what you want. Why do you want it? I want that big house, but why?
Yeah.
If it's not in integrity, well, I just want to show people. No,
that's not an integrity. That's why
right.
Simon Sinek says start with why. You gotta start with why. I am going to move on to the next segment. Thank you so much for all of that amazing insight. So we are here at the Audacious Confidence Show on Dramaniac TV. I am your host, Alicia Couri, the Red Carpet CEO. And I have this amazing guest with me, Madeline Faiella, who we've been talking about clarity and courage, and now we're going to move into commitment. because as a coach, as a mentor, as an author and a speaker, Madeline really works with her clients on these pillars to help them not just reinvent themselves, but also move themselves to a higher level.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have her with us today. And so I do want to go back a little bit to what you were talking about, Madeline, about the depression, because we're going to talk about commitment. And I want to connect that. You don't have to go into the full story, but you said when one door closed, when your singing career ended, it threw you into depression, and you had to fight your way out of that to find your joy again, to find your gratitude again, and then be committed to something new. So how were you able to do that?
Well, first of all, it's important to have people around you that you can trust. And I will say this, it's almost better to be alone than to be with people you can't trust. So I was lucky to have some family members who were supportive, and I am grateful to the nth degree that I am a learner and a seeker. And the way that I got out of it was I started learning, I started creating, and I'm also an artist, and so I started creating things. And then I went back to university and started studying pre-law. All of that is a part of my life. All of that is a part of who I am. When I felt the fall again, next time it only lasted this long instead of this long, because now I knew you can survive.
You know, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but the important thing about that is what the Bible says: without vision, my people perish. Without vision, your dreams die. Everything dies. So you have to continue to have a vision in front of you of what your life is. Don't mourn the past to the point where you can't move on.
It's like if you wake up and you have no purpose,
you
begin getting depressed. So I have a tool that I use with my clients, and it's the comfort zone bridge. And to get people out of the comfort zone, it can be anything. I don't want to pick up the phone. It's like 100 pounds. I don't want to do it. I'll get there. So anyway, I use this with people, and it's helped me. All of these tools I use myself. And so it's helped clients as well. So the commitment is little things that you do every day that are so small. But when you add them up, at the end of a week, a month, a year, you have made a great big change. So if you make one change a week, one less hour of TV, one more exercise, at the end of the year, you've got 52 new good habits.
I have a friend who just launched a book, and she works with her brother about tiny habits, doing tiny habits that add up to big things in the long run. So you don't have to like say, well, I got to lose 100 pounds in the first 6 months of the year.
How can you stay committed to that?
You cannot.
You can't.
You have to do tiny things to help you move forward. So it's very powerful.
Yes,
tiny things that you stay committed to. That's why I run for 7 minutes. People laugh at my 7-minute run, but I'm committed to that run because I cannot give myself a valid excuse for not spending 7 minutes on my own health. You know, it's like
I've seen you jumping rope too in a photo.
Yes.
Go girl. Woo.
So 7 minutes that I can stay committed to.
Yes.
I can stay committed to 7 minutes.
Right.
And I have lasted, I think it's 4 years now.
Oh, it's wonderful.
When I used to walk for 30 minutes, but it was so inconsistent because I could not be committed to 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
It was just too much time for me. I would make every excuse. I can't go to the gym for an hour.
No.
I would excuse my way out of it every day. Every single day.
You read 7 minutes every day. Look at what you've done at the end of the year. And it's the consistency, it's the commitment that gets the job done.
Exactly.
And that works with our mindset. It's like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we can rewire our brains, and it takes these tiny changes. You know, we drive our mindset. Our brains work, but we drive the mindset. So imagine you're in a little car, and the car is your mindset, and now you got to make a big turn. So why not take it a little bit at a time instead of trying to make that huge turn, which is
it's like you can't turn a ship, you can't turn a cruise ship.
No.
It takes a little while to make that full turn.
It takes a minute. Patience is another thing. To be committed, you have to have patience.
Oh my God,
that's persistent, right? Oh my God, resilience, and you have to learn to fail up to success, because otherwise you will not commit. If you think that every fall that you have or every fail that you have is going to lead you to nothing, then nothing will happen.
I have I speak at career days every year, several schools here in South Florida. And my daughter, when she was, I think she was 7 or 8, and I had spoken at career day about entrepreneurship and failure, and how failure just is, everyone has to fail at some point. And I tell the kids, you know, as a baby, you didn't just get up and start walking. You failed. Everyone has failed at something, but you don't see adults crawling around. Obviously, they got back up and they continue to learn to walk. And so she created this little meme saying for me that she says, the first step to success is to suck. So I created this little baby sucking a pacifier. I said, the first step to success. Because after I spoke, she said, Mommy, what you're saying is the first step to success is to suck.
You have to fail. Look, was it Einstein? 10,000. He says, I didn't have 10,000 failures. I had 10,000 lessons.
Yeah, it's 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
Exactly.
So we have to be able to, like you say, fail up, fail forward, whatever it is. Yes. It's not a failure, it's a lesson. You're learning something along the way. It's only a failure if you choose to not learn from it. If you choose to just say, I give up.
I quit.
Correct.
So 75% of entrepreneurs quit.
Yeah.
And that's why successful entrepreneurs are a small population. It is not easy, but it's simple. And the simpler things are, the more difficult it can be for humans.
Yeah.
Because humans are the only creatures that have choice. And no one has no choice. I'm hungry. I got to eat. Person, whatever's in front of me, that's it. I have no choice. We can call, right? I'll have, or I can go, or I can make. We have choice, so we make
our choice to be a carnivore, a vegan, vegetarian,
whatever, and we make it difficult for ourselves.
Yes, but a turtle will never be a carnivore. It's not created to be a carnivore.
Right.
Right. So we have choice, and we have to use those choices wisely, because I want to ask you about this quote not quote, but something I posted the other day about living. You can never really accomplish your own dream living in someone else's world.
I saw that and I was like, yes. Because I love it. Exactly. Here's something that I live by. I don't compete. I don't compare. I challenge me. If I find myself comparing, I ask myself, why do you not feel that you're enough? Why do you feel that you're not worthy? It all comes back to us. Forget that person. Live your own life. And you said that so beautifully. I did see that post and I thought it was great.
I love your post, by the way, when you talked about the only thing that what is it?
Doing the same thing. Nothing will change but your age.
But your age. That is so true. If you keep doing the same thing, nothing will change but your age.
And you know what? If I can, I really want to get to the listeners and viewers this point. everything that we're talking about, even if we're laughing, you learn a lot when you laugh. Take life a little less serious, you'll learn more. But all of this can be applied to your professional life.
We don't have to be stodgy and serious all the time.
No, and everything that you see us talk about is also your professional life, because you are your brand. And even if you're selling widgets, people want to be around you if you're the best that you can be.
Yes, because energy, you have an energy signature, like attracts like, and your energy signature is what people, it's what people will be attracted to.
Exactly.
If your signature is negative and toxic,
yes,
not attracting people to that. But you have the ability, like you said, we have choice. You have the ability to change that.
Raise that vibration, keep it up there. There's so many things, laughter, joy, singing. You don't have to sing in key, but there's so many things that raise, there's so many things that raise our vibration. And it is not woo-woo, it is scientific. And today there are 300 plus pure scientists that are merging all of that together. And now if you start studying quantum physics.
Oh my gosh, yes. We had a few people talk about quantum physics.
Yes, you'll start to see how
you can take leaps.
Yeah, you take leaps, and spirit and energy are all what propel us.
Yes.
And boy, if you can't take that and make a business out of it.
But like you said, it's from the inside, though.
It's inside work.
It's from in here. And you have to work with what's in here.
Yes.
To perfect what's out here.
So powerful.
You really do. Oh my gosh, Madeleine, I can't believe that we're running low on time. And this show is even longer than the last show, and we're still running out of time. But everything that you talked about today, I hope the viewers and the audience can glean from, because it is all about commitment, and it's about courage, and it's about clarity. Because when you start getting that clarity of who you are, why you are, and what you want to do in this world, man, nothing's going to stop you.
Unstoppable diva. Oh, and just so that the listeners know, diva is divine, intuitive, valuable, and able.
There we go.
It's not the negative diva.
Yes, you are. And I got the crown to prove it. So
there you go. You got a couple crowns to prove it, though.
I got a couple crowns to prove it.
Can I borrow one?
So we all have the capacity for greatness.
Yes.
And I think when we really start tapping into it, is it Marianne Williamson that said that it's not the light that scares us.
Right.
It's the darkness within us.
Yes, the unfamiliar.
Right. But that's where the power is. That's the most powerful parts of ourselves.
Yes.
It's not meant to be hidden. It's meant to be used. It's meant to be purposed. So sometimes we're afraid of the power that we have inside of us. That's the thing. And so we don't have the courage to step out and do something different because we're afraid of the power that we really have inside of us. And so if we can just tap into a little bit of that, that's all I'm here with the show, is to help you tap into a little bit of that so that you can take yourself from glory to glory to glory. Anyway, I'm out of time. I thank you so much, my love.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Process getting here, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My pleasure.
Having you here with us, and we'll have you again on another show. Maybe back on this.
Everything works.
and hopefully everything will work, because everything crashed for her today because sometimes that's Murphy's Law, but we got it done.
We got it
done.
So I forgot about that.
We were committed, we were persistent, Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Thank you, Maya. It is our light, not our darkness, that most, oh, it's gone.
Yes.
Light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are the child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to shine. So, thank you so much for that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Think big.
We are meant to be big.
Yes.
And sometimes the darkness inside of us, because it says it's our light and not our darkness that frightens us, but sometimes it's the darkness that propels that light.
Yes.
There cannot be light without darkness.
We wake up with like this golden toolbox, and it's like, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
That we got to go. Goodbye, Zippo.
I gotta go. I know. It's so much. I gotta go though. So thank you so much, Madeline. I appreciate you. All right. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Vishmaya, for posting that. But I want to say the law of polarity, where there's darkness, there's light. It is a whole. So don't let the light inside of you scare you, and don't let the darkness inside of you scare you. Use it all for your success and for the success of others. So I want to thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. We say here on Dramaniac TV, you dream big, we make it happen. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week, same time, same channel here on Dramaniac TV. Bye. Mwah. Hey, Alicia here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that episode of the Audacious Confidence Show, check out more of the episodes that we have right there. And don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss another episode of the Audacious Confidence Show.